We are pain, that's all. We are God.
Sakura stared in stunned silence as she just watched her friend/current rival Ino and her team step in front of her to defend her. Ino and her team stared hard at the sound ninja that gave her so much trouble and even took Lee down with ease. She couldn't understand how things could have gotten so bad during the second part of the Chunin exam. It all started with that weird grass ninja that attacked them, defeated Naruto, and then proceeded to defend them from any attackers, and sure enough, what she feared came true. She felt relieved and even touched when Lee swooped in and tried to save her. He fought valiantly, but in the end, his speed was no match for their sound jutsu. Deciding not to run away anymore, and to finally prove that she belonged on her team, Sakura stepped in and did her best to try and fight back. She cut her hair to get out of the sound girl's kin, if she remembered correctly, grasped and charged right and Zaku. She fought hard, but they still pushed on through, leaving her on the ground with a kunai in hand. It was at that moment when Ino and her team stepped in and stared down across the field to face the three sound ninjas. Ino, but why? Sakura asked. Ishun, I'm tired of you showing off in front of Suki-san and making me look weak to her. Ino said with a smirk. These leaf village worms will be sorry they squirmed into something that doesn't concern them, Dosa said as he glared at the intruders. Are you guys crazy? What are we doing here? These guys are bad news. Choji exclaimed in fear as he tried to get away. Shikamaru held him back by his scarf. Don't look at me, it was Ino's idea. Shikamaru said. Sorry for dragging you boys into this, but we are a three-man squad after all. All for one, and one for all. Ino said. This isn't teamwork, more like suicide. Choji exclaimed in fear. Humph, sound to me like you brats are in a hurry to die, Zaku said as he glared at them. We've got to get rid of these clowns. Suki's the target. While that was going on, Naruto began to stir. Naruto walked down a dark tunnel that almost looked like a sewer, and the water splashed as he continued to walk. Naruto can't help but feel like he's seen this place before, like in a dream or something. Naruto tried to remember, and he could see images of that weird snake-like ninja he fought when he was trying to take their scroll. After that, everything was all a blur. What is that? Naruto questioned. Almost like in a trance, Naruto took the right turn and made his way down that tunnel. The tunnel seemed to grow darker and darker the deeper he went, but there was still that faint light that Naruto just couldn't help but get closer to it. Soon he found himself at a dead end, with a locked door in front of him, with 3 different locks on it. Naruto didn't know what this is, but he just felt like he had to open this door. He reached down for the handle, even though he knew it was locked. When he grasped the handle, he could hear the locks immediately click, meaning that they were unlocked. Feeling like he had no choice, he opened the door. When the door was fully opened, a bright flash of light engulfed him, causing him to close his eyes. When he opened back up, he was no longer in a dark tunnel. He found himself in some kind of void, with stars shining above him, and he was standing on what appeared to be water, with his reflection being clear to see. Where am I? What is this place? Naruto questioned as he looked around. A light shined behind him, causing Naruto to turn to see what was causing it. What he saw was someone standing before him, but the bright light was so intense that he couldn't see who it was. Who are you? Naruto questioned. He didn't receive an answer as the figure raised its finger and touched Naruto's forehead. A swirl of energy soon erupted below Naruto, making it look like he was standing on top of a galaxy. He couldn't tell what was happening to him, but it felt incredible. The Sound and Leaf teams continued staring down at each other. Choji glared angrily at Zaku, due to the Sound guy Zaku insulting him and calling him fat. Alright guys, Team Forma-Ino tried to rally, but something interrupted her. A bright flash of light erupted from behind them. They turned back to see what it was and instantly had to cover their eyes, same with the sound ninja, as they could hardly see as well. The light was so bright that various people throughout the Forest of Death were able to catch a glimpse of it. What was that? Kankuro asked as he and his siblings, Temari and Gara, stared at the direction the light was coming from. I don't know, Temari said, and he covered their eyes from the intensity of the light. The only one who didn't seem to cover his eyes was Gara, as he just seemed to glare in the direction the light was coming from. Whatever it was causing his blood to boil with anticipation. That looks like trouble. Tenten said as she and Niji stood on top of a tree breach as they stopped in their search for Lee after the light show. And wherever there's trouble, that's where Lee most likely is, Niji said calmly before jumping toward the origin of the light. Let's go, Tenten. Right. Tenten said as she followed her teammate. Kiba, Hinata, and Shino had to cover their eyes as the strange light nearly blinded them as it came out of nowhere. What is that? Kiba exclaimed, with Akamaru cowering in his hood. Hinata, can you tell? I'm trying. Hinata said as she activated her Byakugan, but had to close her eyes. The light, it's just too intense. Shino tried using his beetles, but they didn't want to go anywhere near the direction of where the light was coming from. Whatever it is, even my parasitic insects are intimidated by it. The light began to die down and the Leaf and Sound Ninja were finally able to see what caused that sudden burst of light. What they saw shocked them. Naruto stood up at a good 6 foot with a chiseled body. He had some type of ethereal glow around him. It was a blue and silver aura that he and his hair still looked blonde, but it had a silver lining in it. When Naruto opened his eyes, they were no longer sapphire blue, but pure silvery white. Naruto, you're awake, Sakura said with a smile, happy that her teammate was okay. Naruto didn't say anything as he looked at the hands with a calm look and squeezed them a couple times. Naruto? Sakura questioned as she looked a little unnerved by his silence. In the time she's known him, Naruto was never silent. Well, at least he's okay, Shikamaru said with relief. Yeah, but something different about him. What do you think, Ino? Choji asked in confusion. He didn't receive an answer as he looked at the silent Ino. Ino? Ino didn't say anything as she continued to stare at Naruto. She didn't know why, but this energy surrounding him, it is fusing with his chakra, and it looks so powerful. Ino may have not been a strong sensory type ninja, but she knows the gist of how it works. She gets her ability from her mother, who was a sensory type as well, so she showed her how it works. What is going on? This chakra, this energy, it's so. Ino thought to herself as she never took her eyes off the blonde ninja. At first, his chakra wasn't anything to look at, but now, it was like the entire area was being engulfed by this power, and it seemed to watch right over her, almost like it was surrounding her like a blanket. It feels so warm. For some reason, Ino seemed to develop a blush on her cheek. Dosu looked at Naruto with a critical gaze. Something doesn't feel right. Zaku didn't appear cautious at all as he just smirked and raised his hands at the group of leaf ninjas. Ha! Well then, looks like another worm has come squirming into our business. I think it's time I wiped all these pests out at once. Zaku, wait, something weird is going on. Dosu exclaimed as he tried to stop his teammate. Like I care. Slicing sound waves. Zaku exclaimed as he was about to unleash his jutsu. Time seemed to slow down as Naruto's head rose up to look towards Zaku before he could unleash his jutsu. Naruto took a single step, and a single step was all it took as he was instantly in front of Zaku, much to the shock of everyone else. Before the sound ninja could even react, Naruto grabbed his arms and pushed them up, causing the sonic attack to be shot up into the air, blowing away parts of the tree and leaves. Everyone stares in complete awe at the speed Naruto went. What? Zaku exclaimed in dismay. He was there one moment, and then gone the next, Choji muttered in disbelief. I didn't even see him move. Shikamaru said, just as shocked. Is that really, Naruto? Sakura muttered in disbelief. In the academy, he couldn't even perform a single transformation jutsu, but now, Naruto, what have you become, but in a good way? Zaka tried to bring his arm back, but Naruto held on tightly. Hey, let me go. Naruto still didn't respond. He did let go of Zaku's arms, only to deliver a spin kick, sending him crashing into a tree. Zaku gasped in pain before he collapsed onto the ground. Kin growled in anger before bringing out her sunbon needles. Take this, she exclaimed as she threw the needles at the blonde. Naruto just stood there as the needles came closer before tilting his head to avoid them. Oh yeah? Well, how about this? Ken proceeded to throw a whole bunch of sunbon at Naruto, who still just moved his body slightly to avoid getting hit. His eyes soon landed on Dosu, who continued to stare in shock at the display of power. Naruto then started to slowly walk towards Dosu, while still avoiding the sunbon without a care in the world. Kin took this as a sign of disrespect and grabbed a kunai from her pouch. Don't ignore me. Kin charged right at the blonde with her weapon aimed at him. Naruto didn't even cast her a glance as he raised his fist when she got in range, and delivered a punch to her cheek, sending her flying and crashing to the ground. Whoa! All of Squad 11 said out loud. Naruto continued to stare hard at Dosu, who started to sweat but still raised up his gauntlet. Alright then, come on. Naruto charged at him with great speed but faltered slightly when Zaku jumped in front of Dosu, confusing him. Zaku? Damn you! Zaku exclaimed while enraged. He fired another sonic blast battle at Naruto, but the blonde just pushed on through, though he did seem to slow down. You can't keep this up forever. Naruto continued his slow pace, moving through the attack, giving Dosu an idea. Zaku, just hold him there. Dosu ordered. Whatever you're gonna do it fast. Zaku exclaimed as he continued to pour the sonic attack, but the blonde just kept walking and he could feel his chakra running low. I'm not sure how long I can hold it. Dosu brought out his kunai and his gauntlet with it, creating a very loud clanging sound. The sound waves from the gauntlet come out in waves as Dosu used his chakra to maneuver it right toward Naruto. I don't care how fast he thinks he is, there's no way that he's... Dosu started to think as he waited for Naruto to keel over from the intense sound he was producing. It was then, in a split second, Naruto seemed to disappear from both Sound Ninja's perspectives, Zaku still firing his sonic attack. Dosu was confused at first, but then he felt a presence behind him, and turned to see Naruto standing right behind him, back to back, faster than the speed of sound. Ah-ha-ha! Zaku screamed as he held his ears in pain, ending up canceling his sonic blast. Zaku fell over, with his ears slightly bleeding, but was still conscious. Dosu, whose side are you on? Dosu looked in shock at the speed that Naruto displayed. He created a strong enough sound wave to kill a normal person, though he knows Zaku would survive. As sound ninjas, they've trained to withstand even the hardest of sounds, though Zaku would still have a headache when he fully recovered. Dosu turned back to Naruto, who then proceeded to deliver a punch straight to his hut. Dosu coughed up some spit, along with a bit of blood, and was sent flying. He crashed into a tree before falling straight to the ground, alive and still conscious. Everyone who witnessed the display of power was in complete shock and awe. Naruto was never one to have such skill and power before, but now he was on a completely different level. He just wiped them out. Choji said in shock. I don't think they lasted more than 5 minutes, Shikamaru said in shock as well. Naruto, where did that power come from? Ino muttered, while Sakura remained silent, but she too was just as surprised by the skill Naruto just displayed. Up in the trees, Neji and Tenten had just arrived not that long ago, and they too witnessed the display of power Naruto showed. Isn't that the same knucklehead form before? Tenten said, remembering him from the written exam before. Yes, he is. Neji said as he used his Byakugan to examine Naruto, and what he saw was completely unorthodox. His chakra, it's almost like it's completely shut down, but this energy, it's surrounding him like some kind of armor. Just what kind of technique is this? Suki ran over to Naruto as he fell back, caughting the blonde as his form faded. Naruto-kun, are you okay? His blue eyes looked up to Onyx. Cough, I just need some food and some sleep. Picking him, she blushed as she could feel his muscle on her. Looking down, she saw the soft, sweet, sleeping face of the blonde. Sakura grabbed their scrolls and ran after the Uchiha and blonde. Once they were checked into the towner, Suki began to dote over Naruto feeding him his food, even though he protested. But the Uchiha insisted. Suki, you know my form only takes a toll on my stamina, not my body, said Naruto. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I just wanted to help. No, I really appreciate it. I was just surprised you were doing this. You are somewhat distant. Well, I just felt like changing and being more happy, Suki said, muttering, only to you. Ino sat at a dining table with the rest of the Konoha 12. Ino said, Naruto has changed a lot. Shino pushed his glasses up on the bridge of his nose. Yes, he did. He showed an amazing amount of power and skill. Honestly, I had to rub my eyes, not believing that was Naruto. The dead last, Kiba exclaimed. Well, I like the change, added 1010. Sakura, did Naruto always have that power? Asked Niji. No, he was not this strong. Yes, his power was unbelievable, taking out 3 enemies single-handedly that we struggled at as a team. Niji agreed with the green-clad ninja. Sakura added with a sigh, and what happened to Suki? She never acted so joyful. You didn't know? Sakura raised an eyebrow at Ino. What do you mean? Suki has had a crush on the blonde for Atlas a year. Haven't you noticed the glares she gives you when you hit or insult Naruto? Sakura looked down in shame as she remembered the time she hurt him and made him cry. Well, I'm going to bed, notified Shikamaru as he walked off in a lazy manner. Agreed, said the 12 minus Suki and Naruto, and went to bed. Naruto laid in his bed looking at the ceiling. His eyes glanced over to the other bed where Suki was soundly sleeping. And mutter, thank you for being nice to me, you're great. Falling asleep, he was in that strange void once more. It's this place again, this void. That same bright light was in the distance and had the urge once more to run to it. In a flash of light, the same figure appeared. The light slowly faded, reveal what could only be an angel, as it's not possible for a human to be this beautiful. Well, hello, who are you? I am Raziel. Where are we and why am I here? This is your mindscape. And you are here so I can unlock your full potential. But before he could say anything, the void turned to crystal clear water. Taping his forehead, the water rippled. Snapping up, Naruto was in a cold sweat, breathing heavily. The sound woke Suki up. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Suki asked. Yeah, I'm good, just had a bad dream. Let's go back to sleep. We have a long day tomorrow. Suki casted a worried glance at Naruto. I hope you're alright, Naruto-kun. After taking a shower and preparing for the day. Walking downstairs, they grabbed some food and headed to a train ground. Okay, Suki, I want you to go all out on me. If I am right in my new form. It allows me to move unconsciously to avoid attacks. Suki gulped, not wanting to hurt him. With a burst of light, that ethereal glow around him once more. All the genin who saw the same light as before ran to see what was going on. Suki threw a punch to his skull. Naruto simply tilted his head to the side, her fist missing. Naruto backpedaled back, avoiding the hit Suki was throwing. With a pivot of his right foot, Naruto disappeared. Suki felt Naruto's presence behind her and threw her arm back, aiming for his head. Naruto dropped down and leg swept Suki before jumping back. Suki jumped over his legs and jumped back, taking in breaths. She said, Katan, Fireball Jutsu. Ino's eyes widened as the ball of flaming death came at Naruto. Naruto move, yelled Ino, Sakura, and surprisingly Kiba of all people. They were further shocked at what happened next. Naruto took one step and in a blur of speed he was right in front of Suki with a blow to the gut, not strong enough to injure her but enough to be stunted. Suki stumbled back, catching her breath. Catching her breath, she activated her Sharingan, 2 Tomo, in each eye over her blood-red iris. Katan, Dragon Flame Bullet Jutsu. A dragon-shaped flame flew at Naruto. He ducked and weaved around the attack, closing the gap between them. Right before he was going to land a punch, he stopped. The ethereal glow around him vanished. As he stumbled a bit before gaining his strength back, he smiled, "Thanks, Suki-chan." "YW, you called me Suki-chan." Her blush was as red as a ripe tomato. Naruto tilted his head to the side. This action got most of the girls to yell "Kai." Naruto said, "Suki-chan, I need a nap," and fell into her arms. Mindscape, Naruto's eyes opened to see he was on top of a large lake of clear water. Rubbing his eyes, he sees a woman. She has long white hair and blue tips, blue eyes, and a long sweater hiding her modesty. "Hello, Naruto-kun, do you know who I am?"